Hi guys, hello everyone, and welcome to our final class for our ICT summer camp. Okay, this will be our last class for our coding summer camp. Okay, I hope we've all learned HTML. Okay, I hope we've all learned HTML so far. Okay, so far we've looked at the HTML structure, we've looked at VS Code, we've looked at GitHub, and we've looked at some HTML elements like div, like head, like body, like table, like list, etc. We've also looked at some HTML attributes like ID, like class, like src, like href. Okay, so today we'll be putting everything together and finalizing our web page. Okay, so what we'll be doing today, okay, we'll be adding styles to our elements. Okay, we want to add styles using element name and then also add styles using element ID. Okay, I would explain why ID is very important. Okay, ID is a very important attribute. I will explain why. Okay, then we'd also be uploading our code to GitHub. Okay, so when you upload to GitHub, I will now go and see your code and I will grade you. Okay, so you must upload your code to GitHub. Okay, all right. So let's go over to VS Code now. Okay, open home.html in VS Code. Sorry, open week1.html in VS Code. Okay, yes, so this is what we did last week. Okay, earlier we had done home.html. We had looked at the CSS, okay, and we had written this for week1.html. We had created this week1.html page. Okay, what we learned was we learned pastry, virtual application. Okay, so let's add one more thing that we learned, which is coding. Okay, so we learned coding, and in coding what we learned was Visual Studio. So we learned about Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now what else did we learn about Visual Studio Code? So we can create another paragraph, okay, and say, yes, Visual Studio is a text editor for creating web pages. Okay, good. So this is what we learned so far in week 1. Okay, let's save this. Okay, so we learned about pastry. We learned how to make meat pies. Okay, now in pastry, you can create a list. You can create an unordered list and put the steps for creating meat pies. For creating a meat pie, okay, you can create an ordered list UL and put these items for each step for creating a meat pie. Okay, that would also be nice too. Okay, under virtual application, you can add more paragraphs. about Kenya. Okay, but let's work with these three. Okay, so this is our week 1.html page. Okay, now we want to add styles to it, because if we go and preview it in our web page, okay, let's preview it in our web page. Okay, it still looks very plain. Okay, it still looks a bit plain. Okay, so we want to add styles to it. We want to make it look very nice. Okay, all right, so let's go back to our code. Okay, let me remove that list, since I did not really know the steps in making it nice. Okay, so if you know the steps, you can put the steps there at the list. Okay, now first we want to add a style. Okay, so we'll go to our style file, that is index.css. Remember, CSS means cascading styles sheet. Okay, CSS is used for adding styles. So, and this is the CSS file that is linked to our web page, index.css. Okay, so let's go to index.css. Now, the first style that we want to add is to the body elements. Okay, we want to add a style to the body elements. Okay, this means that any elements, any body element in our HTML page will have these styles. So if you have 5 body elements, they will all have these styles. If you have 3, all of them will have these styles. Okay, now the first style that I want to add is to change margin to 40 pixels. Okay, let's save it, and I will show you what this does. Okay, change the margin to 40 pixels, save it, and let's preview in Google Chrome. Okay, now as you can see now, our web page is starting at the end of the screen. There's no margin here. Okay, so if you refresh, we can see now that there's some space here. Okay, so it looks better. This space here makes it look a bit better. Okay, all right, so we've added a margin to our body element. Okay, right, so let's go back again to our code. Let's see if we can change the background color. Okay, let's look for another color. Let's try something in the blue region. Okay, let's see how this one looks. Okay, let's see how it looks. So let's save and preview. So let's try RGB 200, 211, 216. Let's see how it looks. Okay, refresh. Okay, not bad, right? Yes, it's better than the white. Okay, so we would use RGB 200, 211, 216 as our background for body elements. Okay, background and margin has been changed for body elements. Okay, background color is now what? RGB 200, 211, 216, and the margin is now 40 pixels. Okay, good. Now we want to add styles. Okay, let's go back to our Chrome and see our web page. Now, we want to add styles to H1. This is our H1 element, what I learned this week. This is our H1 element. We want to add a style to it, okay? So let's go back to our code, index.css, okay? Okay, now the first style that we want to add is for the H1 element, okay? So we want to add a style for H1 element. So type H1, leave a space, and then open your curly brackets and press enter so we can type inside it, okay? So the element name, which is H1, and then open your curly brackets so we can put styles inside it. Now the first style that we want to put is background color. Background color, okay? And background color is going to be, okay, we are going to use this value as our background color, okay? Just type hash 3F82C7, okay? This is going to be our background color for H1, hash 3F82C7, okay? Let's save this, okay? Go to Chrome and let us see if it's going to look nice. Refresh. Okay, good. Okay, so we have this. Okay. Now the next style that we're going to add is called shadow. Okay, we are going to add a shadow. Okay, so and we're adding it still to H1 element. Okay, so after this, press enter and type box shadow. Okay, now what are the values for our box shadow? Okay, the values for our box shadow, we have -3 pixels, -3 pixels, 5 pixels, 5 pixels, and the color is what? The color is black. Okay. All right, so our H1 element, we've added background color style, we've added box shadow style. Okay, let us see what box shadow does. Go back to Chrome and refresh. Let's see what it does. All right, good. You can see it has a shadow at the back now. All right, so that's a box shadow. Okay, so as you can see, we've added styles to H1 and to body. Okay, let's add more. Okay. All right, now if we look at week1.html, we can also add styles to H3 elements. Okay, we can also add styles to H3 elements. Okay, so let us add style to H3 elements. Okay, press enter. H3 element, H3, leave a space, open your curly brackets. Okay, now all we want to do is to change the font color. Okay, now so instead of background color, we just type color. Okay, background color is different from color. This color is for the element itself. Okay, this one is for the background. Okay, so this one is like your text color. Okay, so we want to make H3 green. Let's try green. Okay, so our font color for H3 elements is going to be green. Okay, let's go back to, okay, so save. Let's go to Chrome and preview. Okay, press F5. All right, so we can see that all H3 elements are now green. All H3 elements are now green. Okay, that's good. Now, what if we want this H3? What if we want pastry to be green, virtual application blue, coding maybe red? Okay, so what do we do? Okay, all of them are H3, but we want each of them to be different. Okay, so in this case, we will need to add another attribute to each of the elements. Okay, so let's go back to our code, go back to week 1. We need to add an ID attribute to the H3 elements. Okay, so what the ID attribute does, what the ID attribute does is to identify an element. Okay, so let us identify each H3 element. Okay, instead of calling all of them just H3. Okay, instead of calling all of them just H3, let us give them specific names or specific IDs. Okay, so let us add ID attributes. ID. Okay, let's call this one pastry. The ID of this one is pastry. Now the ID of this one will be virtual. Let's just use virtual. And the ID of this one will be coding. Good. Okay. As you can see, each H3 now has a different ID. Okay, so with this, we can now add style to each H3. Okay, instead of having all the H3s to be green, instead of all the H3 elements to be green, we can add style to a particular H3, add a different style to another one, add a different style to another one. Okay, so let's save this. Now we'll go back to our index.css. Now this is H3. Okay, this is our element H3. Now we want to put ID. Okay, instead of saying all H3 elements, we want to say H3 elements with attributes ID and value pastry. So we've typed H3, the element. Now we need attribute ID. Okay, attribute ID is hash. Okay, hash represents attribute. If you remember in our last class, I told you that dots represents class. Okay, while hash represents ID. Okay, so put hash and then the value of the ID. The value is pastry. So now what this is saying is that the H3 element with ID pastry, as you can see, if you put your mouse pointer here, you can see the H3 ID is equal to pastry. So that's what this says. Okay, so in CSS, hash represents ID and dots represents class. Okay, So if we save this now, only pastry would be green. Okay, let's go back to Chrome and you see that only pastry is green. Let's refresh. All right, so you can see only pastry is green now. Okay, so with this, we can add another style to virtual application and coding. Okay, okay, so let's go back to Chrome to our code. Okay, so let's do the same. H3 ID virtual. Okay, curly braces, and then let's make our color. Let's say blue. And then we'll do the same. H3 ID coding. Let's make our color. Let's make our color. Okay, let's say red. Let's try red and see if it will look nice. Okay. So let's save and preview in Chrome. Let's preview. Excellent. Okay. So now we've added different styles. One to pastry, one to virtual application, one to coding. Even though pastry, virtual application, and coding are all H3 elements, but we've been able to use ID attributes to separate them. We've been able to use the ID attributes to separate them so that we can pick each one. Yes, they are all H3, but we can use ID to separate them. Okay. Okay. Yes. Just like when you have your family members. Okay. Yes, you are all, for instance, you are all the Rogers. Okay. But you can use your ID to separate each other. So you can have Imran Durojaye, Umar Durojaye. Okay. So it's the same here. Okay. These are all H3 elements, but we've used ID to separate them so we can pick each one and add styles. All right, so let's go back to our code, index.css. All right, okay, so we've created a web page saying what we learned in week 1 of our summer camp. Okay, now for each of these paragraphs, for each paragraph here, I want you to add more details. Okay, add more details about pastry in paragraph, add more details about Kenya. Okay, so add more details. Okay, I can add more for coding. Visual Studio Code is for creating web pages. It was created by this software. Okay, so can add more details for each of the other paragraphs. Okay. Okay. So we are done with week 1. Okay. We've created a web page week 1. Now I want you to create your own web page for week 2. Okay. Create your own web page week 2 that talks about what you learned in week 2. Okay. So also create for week 3 and week 4. Okay. Good. Now we'll be going over to GitHub to upload our code. Okay, so let's save all of this, save everything. We have home.html, week1.html, index.css, and then we also have some images. We have HTML, picture, fitness picture, etc. So all of these, we would upload everything to GitHub. Okay, we are going to upload everything to GitHub. Yes, uploading to GitHub. All right, so open Chrome and let's go to GitHub. Open Chrome and let's go to GitHub. Okay. All right. Open Chrome. Now we are going to sign in because we already created our GitHub account before. So we are just going to sign in. Enter your username. Okay. Okay. In our first class, we created our GitHub account. Okay. It's just like creating Facebook accounts. It's the same process. Okay. Like creating Facebook or Instagram accounts. Okay. It's the same process. Now we want to sign into accounts. Okay. So just type your username, type your password, and sign in. Okay. Sign in. Okay. They will send a code to your email. Let me check the code and put it. Okay, let's go down. Let me check the code. Okay. So, okay. All right. So now I have signed in now. Okay. So this is my own GitHub profile. So I'm going to upload code. Okay. So you can see this plus sign here. Okay. Click on plus and then click on new repository. Okay. Let's name it HTML classes. Okay. Okay. You can name it anything. Okay. Okay. We have we have we have other settings here. For now, let's just leave it as they are. We'll name it HTML classes and then create repository. Okay. Good, good. Okay. So you've created your repository now, but there is no code. There's nothing. It's empty. Okay, so we can see get started by creating a new file or uploading an existing file. We already have our code, so click on upload an existing file. Okay, okay, so let's upload our files now. Okay, it should be on your desktop. It should be on your desktop. Okay. Okay, good. This is it. HTML classes. So we'll upload our pictures, our CSS, home.html, and week1.html. Home. Yes. So we have pictures in our web pages. So we need to we need to upload all the pictures. We upload our CSS file, index of CSS. We upload home.html and week1.html. Okay. So open. And then we will upload everything. Okay. Is it done uploading? Good. Okay. Now we have uploaded it. Okay. So if you remember in our first class, I explained that everything that you do in GitHub is called a commit. Okay. So let us describe this commit that we've done now. What did we do? We uploaded the pictures, CSS file, home.html file, .html file. Okay, so this is what we did. Okay, so let us commit this change. Okay. It's just hold on a bit. I think I'm having an issue with my laptop. Okay, so once you do that, just click on commit changes. Okay, just commit the changes. Okay. Sorry, I'm having an issue with my laptop. Okay. Okay, let me repeat it again. Sorry, I had an issue with laptop. Okay, so upload an existing file. Okay, upload the files. We're uploading all our pictures. Click on the picture, hold your control key and select all of them one by one. All our pictures are index.css, home.html, and week1.html. Okay. Okay. So when you create your own week2.html, you can also upload week2.html along with all the pictures that belong to week2.html. Okay. So let's upload this. So we need to describe what we have done. We uploaded pictures from home, pictures, and CSS file. So we uploaded pictures and CSS file for home and week1. Okay, so let's commit these changes now. Okay, so it's processing our files. Okay, and once it does this, okay, anyone will be able to view your code. Okay, so now we have uploaded our code. Okay, okay, we can see that our code is made up of what HTML and CSS. Okay, our code is made up of HTML and CSS. So we have uploaded our code now, and now our code is available for anyone to see. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so when you upload yours, please share your usernames with me so that I will grade your work. Okay, upload your work and share your usernames with me. Okay, you can share it to your coordinator and you in turn share it with me. Okay, okay, so just share your username. Okay, so that I will grade your work. Okay, so thank you, everyone. We've come to the end of ICT. Okay. I hope we I hope we have all learned a new skill. I hope we I hope we understand HTML now. Hope you learned about the hope you understand the HTML structure. Hope you understand the VS Code and what it is used for. Okay. Hope you understand some IDs and some attributes and some elements. Okay. And and most importantly, hope we practice. Okay, please create with 2.html, practice HTML. If you do not practice, you will forget. Okay, practice creating web pages, practice creating styles also. Create different styles. There's background color, there's box shadow, there's borders. Okay, there are different styles. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. Okay, so and I wish you the very best. Okay, take care, everyone, and goodbye. Bye, everyone.